Hello, we are at Crystal Lake in Dane County. This is the one in Dane County, and it's a 500-acre lake. We fished here many times before, but this is the first time this year I've come here. Ideally, I would have come here when the water is just a little bit warmer, maybe in this like around 60. But in this bay here, like in the shallow water, the water temp is around 56, 57. I'm pretty sure it's only like 50 in the main lake in the depth. But hopefully we can actually get some fish here. Ideally, I would have gone to like Jefferson or Broadhead today, because the Sugar River is actually teeming with life right now. But you know, those places are a little far. This is about half the distance, and plus I haven't fished this place in a few months, so let's get some poles in the water. Hopefully we can catch a Gatofish grande. I got my two main rods out, one with a hot dog, part of a hot dog anyways, and one with a worm. So hopefully carp or catfish. I know there's a lot of panfish in here too, so anything will actually work. I don't expect the catfish to bite until around dusk, and I plan to stay here until then. I have a nightlight if I really need it. I'm probably going to sling a smaller one out with a small piece of worm just to get on the board with some panfish, because I know a lot of them are around here. The water temperature is a little cold, so I'm not really sure if the panfish are active or not, but I guess we will actually find out. There are largemouth bass in here, and I am targeting those today. And I'm also going to, well, I can't target northern pike. There are pike in here. However, it's not season for them for one, and there's not that many big fish of death in here. So mainly bass, panfish, catfish, and carp today. I saw a couple of carp jumping, so I know they're out there. I just don't know if they're gonna bite. See those houses on the other side over there? Those are all private property. That's actually like a camp, I believe, over there. Same thing with over there. Those are actually the best spots to fish on this lake, because the drop off there is the closest to shore. But we don't have access to that, so we're here. But the drop off here isn't too bad, so we should be able to get some fish. But maybe I'll rent one of those camp cabin thingies later and get some fish from there. That place didn't really work. Didn't get a single bite. I saw a couple of carp jump, but not a single bite. I think it was way too early for that place. This place is a little different, because in this place, like on Crystal Lake Road, there is actually like a little peninsula that goes out, and the water remains very shallow for about 40, 50 feet out at least. So the fish have a lot of warmer, shallower water to chill out, so there actually might be more fish in this area. So hopefully that's the case. While we're waiting for the baits to get hit, why don't we just toss this little swim bait out into the structure and hopefully not get snagged. This doesn't really go to the bottom anyway, so it really shouldn't. It's kind of a jerk bait, so hopefully we can get a largemouth bass. So that's what we're after with this bait, a largemouth bass. Finally, after like 6 hours, well, maybe 4, I finally think I have a fish on. Yep, definitely have a fish on. Doesn't feel very big though. Swimming that way towards my other line, so I gotta pull it this way. But finally, after so long, a fish, a fish. What is it? Oh, it broke off. What kind of fish was that? Was that a Gatofish? That wasn't small. Could have been either a Gatofish or a bass. I don't know what that was, but that was a fish. Well, that kind of sucked. Missed my first fish today. That wasn't a bad fish either. Ooh, there was another fish just jumping out there. Not sure if that's a carp or a bass. Hopefully it's a bass. That one I lost wasn't really fighting like a carp. I didn't really get a good look at it to see what it was. Could have been a catfish as well, I guess, because I am fishing at the place where I have caught a lot of catfish before, but mostly during dusk. So now I have 2 big worm baits out and a hot dog. I gave up on the casting bait because nothing was actually hitting that on any of my lures. All right, I got another chance. The big worm bait ball has been hit. By what? I'm not sure. It's a worm bait ball, so it could technically be anything, whether a catfish, carp, it's feeling like a carp, bass. It's not a bluegill or a yellow bass. It's too big for that. Looks like it could be a carp, maybe a gato. Got to be careful with this. So what is that actually? Oh, it's a Gatofish. It's a Gatofish. A fish of decent gato-ness. It's not a fish of supreme gato-ness, but it is a fish. It's a decently gato fish. I think it's a maybe close to a 5-pounder. We'll weigh it. A fish of decent gato-ness. Checking him out. He's trying to gato his way back into the water, but we're not going to let him do that. A fish of decent gato-ness. He's fat. He's fat. I don't know if he's maybe getting ready for the Gatofish spawn, but he's fat. There it is, a fish of decent gato-ness. This is a 4.5 pound channel Gatofish. It's very gato, but it got caught. What do you think, Gatofish? I'm a Gatofish. You should let me go or I will gato your ass. Oh, I'm not too afraid of you, but I'm not going to eat you either, so you're going back. Yay! All right, fish of sufficient gato-ness. Gato your way back into the water. There you go. Well, it feels good to finally get a decent-sized channel Gatofish. Both the fish bit on worms, so I'm guessing the one I lost earlier was also a Gatofish. Looks like we're going to stay into the night to get some more gato-ish fish. We got our nightlight on. We have night fishing fashion. This is like 18,000 lumens. It's a lot of lumens. You can light up for some night fishing action. I think I got another fish. Nope. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's another fish. It's not a big one though. It is a fish, but it is, oh, it's a yellow bass. It's a yellow bass. Not the fish I was looking for. It's a decently sized yellow bass though, I have to say. It's a pretty decent, it's actually a pretty big yellow bass, but it is a yellowish bass. Awesome, another species, a yellow bass. This one actually would be pretty good eating. It looks like the yellow bass are hitting just a little bit farther out. This one's actually a nice size one. You're a nice sized yellow bass. Should I go home and fillet you and eat you? No, I want to live. I can grow much bigger. I haven't seen you grow much bigger in this lake. I can. Okay, I'll trust you this time, yellow bass. All right, yellow bass. Have fun. Lo and behold, I think I got a bigger one. I don't know if this is a catfish or a bass. I think it's a yellow bass. It doesn't feel big enough to be a catfish. But if it's a big yellow bass, I can't use it as bait. That's a big yellow, well, I guess I can use it as bait. That's gonna be my new bait, that yellow bass. All right, Mr. Yellow Bass, you keep stealing my bait, so now you're going to be my bait. No! Yes, bass, bait for you. Something bit the hot dog. But whatever it is, it's incredibly small. I didn't know, oh, it's a bullhead that didn't actually get the entire hot dog down. The hot dog's like the size of its head. Check that out, a bullhead Gatofish. Tried to get my hot dog and the hook went all the way through its mouth. Small bullhead Gatofish. Check it out, a bullhead Gatofish. A bullhead Gatofish. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get my light right. Well, if there were flatheads here, this guy would be bait. But there are no flatheads in Crystal Lake. There are only channels. So we're not going to use the bullhead Gatofish as bait. So he's going to get to go home. Yay! All right, you fish of lesser gato-ness. Fish of lesser gato-ness, you get to go. You should stop trying to swim on land and turn around, fish of lesser gato-ness. There you go. There you go. Back into the depths you go. Fish of lesser gato-ness are very stupid. They don't really know which way to swim. Well, the yellow bass kept on trying to steal my bait. And it did so successfully several times. But now its head and part of its torso is my bait now. So hopefully I can catch a big giant Gatofish. That is the goal definitely now. Well, I found out why I kept on getting taps and nothing actually hooked. It's because it's not channel catfish that are taking my bait. It's these little crappy bullheads that are taking my bait. Really not the way to go for me. Not the way to go for me. Hopefully, maybe I should try out a bigger, much bigger hook. I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, that was it for the fishing adventure. Hooked 2 decent channel gatos. Brought in one. The first one that I hooked seemed actually smaller than the second one. I actually don't know if the first one was a catfish, but considering it was bottom bait worms and it felt fairly big, means it's not a yellow bass or a bullhead. It was probably a channel. The second one I pulled up with about 4.5 pounds. It just looked really fat, but it was about 4.5 pounds only. And after dark, it seems like the channel stopped hitting, and then like the lesser gato fish, the bullheads, actually started hitting. Even on the big chunk of yellow bass head with a 5/0 hook, a bullhead actually hit that. And the next day, I actually put a bunch of worms and also some meat on the 8/0 hook, and the bullhead still kept on hitting that. I know this because I actually pulled up 2 bullheads on the 8/0 hook. I didn't even know they were big enough to actually take the 8/0 hook, but there were some pretty decent sized bullheads in there. But lesser Gatofish, not worth showing. They should know that they're not Gato enough to take such big bait because none of them actually swallowed the bait. They just kind of got caught on the hook. So at this time of the year, in mid-April, it looks like the water's not really warm enough to have large amounts of channels come into the shallows. And the only time you're going to catch them is probably around sunset before dark. After dark, I saw a lot of people there fishing for crappies and yellow bass, and they were catching them. But they're pretty far out. The best time to catch yellow bass is also like right before sunset, an hour before sunset until dusk. After that, they kind of stop biting on the bottom bait, and it's just bullhead after bullhead after bullhead. You can catch a ton of bullheads, though, if you are interested in eating bullheads. And Crystal Lake's water, actually, I think is fairly clean. So they might actually make good table fare. But hope you had fun watching this video, and I will be back at Crystal Lake this summer hunting for the legendary Gatofish. All right, thanks, and have a nice day.